Okay, so I was not expecting this today, but we finally have our first teaser trailer for Lanterns. Now, this is probably one of my most anticipated DCU project shows of this year, and ever since this show was announced, I've been definitely interested in this, show just in general. Green Lanterns, but it's like True Detective basically, and it's way more grounded and everything. And so it was definitely just from the start, that synopsis was interesting to me. And ever since the show was announced, we've gotten, we got the first look that we got of the show was that image of Hal, and John, walking together on that road. And then after that, I think a month or two ago, we got that little clip of, the actual show itself. And, we got that scene of Hal and John riding in the car together. And we got the shot of Hal jumping out the car and, the freaking car going off the cliff with John in it and everything. And basically just from that little snippet, we got to see what, Hal and John's relationship was going to be. This is, like I said, this is a very grounded show. This is a detective show. And it seems like Hal and John basically have like a buddy cop relationship in the show, Hal being the mentor to John and everything. And so, like I said, yeah, all of that, I was definitely interested to see, our first, actual trailer for the show. And here we are. We officially have the first trailer for Lanterns. I wanted to talk about it and give my opinions on it and everything. And so, yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so overall, I thought the trailer was pretty good. When they first announced this show, obviously they talked about this being a way more grounded, way more, serious, it feeling like True Detective and everything. And I've never seen True Detective, but like I said, it basically is like a detective show, but, with superheroes basically. And so, watching the trailer, I thought it was really good. It's a very serious trailer and a very tense trailer. And it looks very different from what we've gotten in the DCU. When we talk about the DCU and everything and, the beginning of the DCU, we've gotten a lot of good projects. We've gotten Creature Commandos, we got Superman, we've got Peacemaker. But all of those, shows and movies, were done under James Gunn. And I was, specifically this year, I feel like this was definitely going to be a test to see whether or not, the DCU could work without, James Gunn, helming the project and everything, because, we, other than Lanterns, we have Supergirl coming out this year, and we also have Clayface coming out this year as well. And Clayface is going to be, apparently it's just a straight up body horror movie, and so that just sounds, different and weird and interesting to me as well. But yeah, this trailer definitely promised on the idea of a very grounded, serious tone show as well. It's actually funny. After I watched the trailer and everything, I looked at the comments, and the first comment, or like the top comment at least, was it was someone said, what did they say? No country for old lanterns. And I thought that was very funny. It definitely has like a Western, it's set in Nebraska and everything. It does have that like Western, it's set in like a small town and everything. It has like a sheriff in it and everything. And it definitely has that like that Western feel to it. This show, yeah, like I said, it seems way more mature. There was like there was actually a lot of F-bombs, I actually think in the first 14 seconds of the trailer, Hal drops a F-bomb, and then I'm pretty sure, I think we get other people in the trailer also dropping the F-bomb as well. And so it does seem like this show is definitely going to be mature in tone and everything. We don't get any shots of them using the ring or wearing the Green Lantern suits. We do get a shot of, it seems like a closet, and this might be Hal's closet that we're looking at, but we do get a shot of like a suit. And correct me if I'm wrong, when it comes to Green Lantern lore or just like stuff in general, when it comes to their actual suits, I'm pretty sure when they put on the ring, that is what creates the suit just in general. But it seems like here it is just a straight up suit that they like put on, I guess. I might be wrong on that, but like it does seem like it is just a suit, and it seems like there are a bunch of suits. And so like I said, this might be, you know, Hal's closet. You know, he is a older, it seems like veteran Green Lantern, so it seems like he just has like just a bunch of suits over the years that he's worn, and so, you know, that would make sense. So the one thing that it seems like people didn't enjoy or didn't like about the trailer, because after I watched the trailer, and I thought it was a pretty good trailer, you know, and everything, it seems like the thing that people didn't like, just from the comments that I read, is that we didn't get enough shots of them, or we didn't get, you know, like I said, we didn't get any shots of them using the ring. We didn't get any shots of them wearing like the Green Lantern suits or anything like that. I know a lot of people want, you know, especially when you talk about a Green Lantern show, movie, whatever, you're expecting, you know, Green Lanterns to be doing Green Lantern things, basically, and it, you know, it being in space and it being cosmic and everything, and there being aliens and everything. And yeah, I can see how, you know, obviously from this trailer, we don't get any of that. We do get the mention of like, because I think at like the end of the trailer, John asks his like Hal, hey, are there any other like, you know, do you know any other Green Lanterns? And Hal, you know, basically straight up says, yeah, you know, there's a lot of, you know, aliens and stuff. I'm the only human and everything like that. But there is like a Green Lantern that's also a squirrel as well. And so I feel like this show definitely is going to need to strike a good blend between, you know, it being grounded and it being a detective show, and still, you know, also being a superhero show as well. We did get one shot of Hal, you know, taking off to fly somewhere, or the one shot that we do get of, you know, him flying, I thought was pretty good, you know, especially for a TV show. I don't know the budget of this show, but just that one shot alone, and we also get some other shots, you know, as well of like, it seems like some destruction, you know, it seems like there is a scene with Hal in the town and there's like destruction around him, and so I'm assuming there's a fight that breaks out. There's like one shot of like a motel sign being destroyed, and so obviously there are going to be fight scenes, there's going to be action in this show. It's just a matter of like, what is the action going to look like? What are the, you know, constructs going to be? How like CGI heavied are the action scenes going to be and everything? You know, we'll just have to see when the, you know, show comes out. But the last shot that we do get is, you know, Hal basically roughing up some guy. I'm assuming it's some criminal, or he's interrogating some guy. But we basically at the end of the trailer get a quick glimpse of him using the ring. Like we get like a split second of him using it, but we don't actually get to see him using it. So like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, what the constructs, you know, look like, you know, how, I don't know, like will it look good? You know, like I said, this is a TV show, not a movie, so how will they make that work? You know, in terms of like the villains, they did show off some, it seems like there is some sort of like mercenaries that they're taking on, or some, you know, guys with guns that are like have like vehicles and stuff like that. I did hear that Sinestro is apparently also supposed to be in this show. I don't know what role he's supposed to be playing. I don't know if he's going to be the main villain, or is he just going to be a cameo. I have no idea. So, you know, like I said, I like the fact, I really enjoy this trailer. I like the fact that this is a very grounded, and it seems like way more grittier, way more mature show. You know, it just feels different from what we've gotten from the DCU so far. You know, obviously last year we had Superman, and that was a way more comic booky, you know, more whimsical, more, you know, hopeful type of, you know, movie. And so it is good to see, because James Gunn did, you know, initially say when he started the DCU that we would be getting different projects with different tones and different styles, and it wouldn't, you know, one project would, you know, feel and be totally different from another project that, you know, is happening, and you know, it's all in the same universe though. And so it seems like he is keeping that promise, because this definitely looks, you know, very different from what, you know, what we've gotten so far in the DCU. And so yeah, I am definitely excited for this show. It comes out in August, and so yeah, that is basically my thoughts and opinions on the Lanterns trailer. Let me know down in the comment section below, what did you think of the Lanterns teaser trailer? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know why down in the comment section below. And yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one. So yeah, bye.